Monica Lewinsky has been said about General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. I therefore and address us as a teacher.
Which is a public-private partnership between Abuja Limited, a private real estate developer, and Kano State government through the Kano State Housing Corporation. The Promenade estate will consist of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 bedroom accommodation. Between 400 to 600 houses is planned for development. Final numbers depend on demand for houses. Director development must respond to the demand for house type of offer. A unique feature will be a first of its kind, especially dedicated 2 hectare center of leisure, recreational and commercial activities, specifically created to cater to the estate and surrounding neighborhood. In executing this development, it is expected that our shelter will employ sustainable construction technology, deploy manpower with requisite capacity and state-of-the-art equipment to deliver an estate finished to high standards that promotes work-life balance in a setting typified by beautifully designed homes and well-manicured roads. Our shelter will be investing about 13 billion naira into the development. The value created from this investment is estimated at approximately 20 billion naira. The economic and social value of this direct investment is very immense. This mass housing initiative, spearheaded by the leadership of Kano State government in its laudable effort towards wealth creation, employment generation, and poverty alleviation, is the second such initiative between the state government and Urban Shelter Limited. It appears a winning partnership has been formed. Consequently, let me use this opportunity to congratulate the Kano State government on its achievements, not only this, but in many of its other efforts in the provision of housing and infrastructure in Kano State. The Konkoso era has given birth not only to Konkosia city, but also the construction of close to 1,500 houses in 3 new major cities, Konkosia, Manana, and Bandarawa. And these are complete with all infrastructure at a cost of nearly 20 billion. In addition, is the investment of 150 billion in infrastructure through the construction of 5 kilometers of road network in all the 44 local government areas of the state. Reconstruction and expansion of nearly 10 TT hours Kano Metropolis, construction of the multi-billion naira state road, Binamuntala flyover bridge, the first of its kind in the metropolis. This is an example of the Aba River through the network of Aba roads in Kano City, and indeed the headquarters of local government in the state. These achievements are very laudable and worthy of emulation at all levels. Let me therefore embrace upon Carbon Shelters Limited to ensure the development of this promenade is carried out with thoroughness, efficiency, and integrity. Expectations, I must say, are very, very high. Gladly, one observes the recognition of the problems in housing and emerging intensification of efforts in the right direction by government. Such commendable measures by the federal government and state government include the Central Bank of Nigeria, the current land swap program in the SPT, the Lagos Mega City project, and his many innovations, establishment of the Nigerian Mortgage Company, which is an initiative of NBAN in collaboration with the International Finance Corporation, IFC, World Bank, Central Bank of Nigeria, and the Federal Ministry of Finance to create liquidity for the mortgage sector. According to the Minister of Finance, the federal government is collaborating with the World Bank to raise $300 million liquidity facility for housing sector. This intervention in a main mortgage liquidity facility which will provide long-term refinancing to mortgage companies as well as aid matching of long-term loans with long-term sources of capital. Despite these policies, the dream of home ownership remains just for the majority Nigerians due to a number of reasons. From inaccessibility to mortgage finance, the increasing cost of raw materials due to fluctuation in the exchange rate, which consists of over 60% of building costs, lack of basic infrastructure, and add another 30% to the total cost of the development. The way forward is to sustain and improve on the real estate development effort. Additionally, opening up the mortgage sector, both primary and secondary, so that both individuals and organized cooperatives can access land and funds to put up housing with adequate infrastructure. A synergy of federal, state, local governments and the private sector is required to achieve this. That is what makes the Promenade development a great example of what can be achieved within the private sector. I congratulate you, the governor, government and people of Kano State for this great effort. On behalf of the guests present here today of this foundation laying ceremony, we hope to be invited for the commissioning of the development in the near future. Assalamu alaikum.
Houses the way you initiated the first realistic housing policy in Nigeria. Equally and importantly too, your son Kwankwaso is emulating your human development policy. He is empowering all troops, making their station. His Excellency, the Executive.
Yes, I can copy you. Any good person should copy good things. And don't forget that Kwankwaso is a ranking governor. As a ranking governor, and wherever you see, God in His mercy, He gave him the first 4 years, took it away, and we thought Kwankwaso had finished. And then God gave him, so there is nothing wrong in copying Kwankwaso because we are doing wonderfully well. The chairman of the occasion, our brother, our mentor, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, DCFR. God has also given you welcome Nigeria in your hands, and today Nigeria is also in your hands. Help us to get out of the woods. His Excellency Engineer Ganduje, Chairman of PDP Kano and Niger States, members of Kano and Niger State Executive Councils, my Emir, the Emir of Mina, the Chairman of our shelter, Malam Ibrahim Aliyu Saddauna Mina, former Minister of FCT, AVM Hamza Abdullahi, the Managing Director and Chief Executive of our shelter, Musa Dagogo Aliyu Sarkin Yakin Mina, His Excellency Shehu Malami, and invited guests here present. Let me sincerely apologize for coming late. It's not in my character. But as a former permanent secretary of FCT, I didn't know that FCT has reached this place. So I underestimated the timing and started very late. Please accept my apology. Like the chairman said, Rabi Konkoso is doing very well. Exceedingly well. And I congratulated him too, because I was wondering how Kano had been able to keep the lands. Many states, by the time we arrived, have sold their lands. But Kano State maintained its land. But he told me, people were sold the houses that were here before they returned the land to him. So that is something I will copy. I will look at my books too. Because my United States lands too were sold. Now to whom and where we will find them. So we will copy them. But let me say that I'm very, very grateful to be here. Because, one, this is one of the best investments that we can get. Because in 5-10 years to come, you will find that that may be part of the major revenue for Kano State government. You might have noticed that last month, Commissioners of Finance walked out of Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting. Why? Because it used to be that every month at least we were expecting to sell 2.5 million barrels of oil. But because of the oil thieves and other reasons, the sale came to about 2 million barrels. And that affected most of the states. In fact, many of the states would have only been able to pay salary without anything to add to the development of that state. So I believe that this is part of the direct investment that state governments and individuals can do to help us. In the northern states, we are the poorest part of the country now. Indeed, I told some people at our meetings that when the World Bank came to Niger, they said by description, if northern states are to be one country and southern states are to be another, the southern state will have been described as medium income earner, while the northern state will have been described low income earner afflicted by conflict. Last week, we were in a meeting where we were shocked to our marrow because we thought we had been doing exceedingly well, particularly in education, only to be told that 14 states out of the 19 states, most of them have from 50 up to 78% of children out of school. So you are doing very well there, but apparently we must do more. Because 14 out of 19 states, and each one of them, you will discover a common thread. A common thread like Nigeria, like Pakistan, like Afghanistan, polio, and problems of education. You will discover a common denominator there. But there are other countries that are 98% Islamic, but they have been able to do better. Tunisia is 96%, they have all gone to school. So I think we must not only say it is Islam, but that we have allowed our culture to corrupt Islam so much, and we must be able to distinguish between the two. So we must invest and we must educate our people. I thank you very much for this opportunity, and I congratulate Urban Shelter for doing so well. I'm trying to find out whether the brick city is not in Niger State, because part of the border, even if I don't get my land back, Niger State doesn't have to have a land in Abuja if we're able to really operationalize our long border between Niger and FCT. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
The former president and chairman of this occasion, General Ibrahim Badamasi, the chief servant, Northern States Governors Forum, and Governor of Niger State, Dr. Aliyu Babangida, the representative of the FCT Minister, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, distinguished senators, members of the House of Reps here present, my friends and former classmates, former Minister, Engineer Sani Ndalusa, the former Governor of Kano State, Air Vice Marshal Hamza Abdullahi, members of the State House of Assembly, honorable commissioners and advisors from both Niger and Kano States, the Secretary of the State Government, the Chairman of Urban Shelter, Malam Ibrahim Aliyu, the Emir of Mina, the Sultan Sudan, Naurno, distinguished invited guests. Let me start by welcoming all to this very important occasion of the foundation laying ceremony of the Kano State's Promenade Estate, Lokogoma, Abuja. While welcoming you all to this most important occasion, let me begin by informing you that this site consists of over 20 hectares of land owned and managed by Kano State Housing Corporation on behalf of the state government. When we assumed the leadership of Kano State, this very land was almost lost, but with the assistance and support of well-meaning Nigerians, especially the Honorable Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Senator Bala Muhammad, we were able to recover it for the benefit of the good people of Kano State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the rapid growth rate on both urban and rural population, coupled with inadequate infrastructure, poor funding, and lack of purposeful leadership, has made it extremely difficult to provide sufficient housing and infrastructure to make up for the current shortfalls and to indeed provide an adequate plan for the ever-increasing population demand. Having realized this, and along with the Parawa Sabangari housing estates, our administration, since inception, embarked on an aggressive infrastructural and socio-economic transformation of Kano, such that within a span of 2 years, we established 3 brand new cities in the state's capital. Furthermore, in our efforts towards modern urban renewal of the ancient city of Kano and its environs, in terms of provision of infrastructures, our administration in the last 2 years embarked on the following projects: laying interlocks and planting trees to beautify all sidewalks of major roads, as well as rehabilitation of the city parks, rehabilitation and construction of pedestrian flyovers within the city, installation and rehabilitation of street lights and traffic lights on all major roads at the cost of over 2.1 billion naira, building houses for the poor, and the resettlement of flood victims at Warawa, Unchi, and Makoda local government free of charge, laying of concrete pipes for sewage disposal in order to sanitize the ancient city of Kano, construction of a road over the Jakara River, which is a major sewage channel within the city of Kano, to be called Ujuwe at the cost of 5.3 billion. Construction of trailer parks at Dawano and Gunduze, as well as the development of metropolitan roads, Gwarzo, Zaria, Hadija, Sheikh Jafar, Independence, Abdullahi Wasi, Yansaki, Mandori, Airport, Sharadabata, etc. worth over 31 billion. 5 kilometers dualized electrified roads in each of the 44 local governments. That is 220 kilometers stretch road worth about 80 billion naira. Construction of a flyover at Kofa Nasarawa at the cost of 5.9 billion naira. Completion of selected roads which were abandoned by the former administration. Signed MOU for 35 megawatts independent power projects at Chalawa and Tigans. Construction of metro line, light rail across the city. Furthermore, as a responsible government committed to human as well as infrastructural development, we realize that education is the only tool to use in eradication poverty, joblessness, ignorance, and diseases, as well as the only solution to backwardness in the 21st century. This is why we have been investing heavily in education by reintroducing free feeding in all our primary schools 5 times a week, and 2 sets of uniform for primary school pupils, overhauling of primary schools, and the construction of about 2,000 classrooms and 800 offices, purchase of furniture and teaching materials, fencing and rehabilitation of all our primary schools and secondary schools worth over 5.4 billion naira, revamping of agency for mass education with a target to achieve 100% literacy rate by 2015. We also established 23 new institutes for vocational training and building the capacity of our out-of-school youth, established a new state university, the Northwest University, in addition to Kano University of Science and Technology, which were established in 2001. Awarded foreign scholarships to our youth, 501 are now in 11 countries of the world, 25 are in India, 100 young men and a lady are now in Jordan studying piloting. On the other hand, our empowerment programs are also ongoing. This includes 132 men who were taught various trades and skills and empowered, 440 trained in chalk production, 2,200 women trained in poultry farming, the 486 trained in modern beekeeping, 220 trained in football making, training and empowering 10,000 butchers, 2,000 trained and empowered barbers, etc., etc. All these programs are tailored towards making people to be independent and self-reliant. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Kano State is once again championing and advocating the public-private model as a veritable tool to drive the economic development of the state with an aim to diversify the investment outlook of the state, as well as fully exploring and utilizing the state assets in more productive and efficient manner. To this end, the state government took into cognizance housing as one of the basic necessities of life and the provision of the National Housing Policy, which stipulates that every Nigerian should have adequate shelter as a right. It is to this end that we sold all GPs to state civil servants and alongside established the first phase for Kosea City comprising of 480 units, Amana City with 475 units, and Bandrao City with 400 units. We have so far achieved about 80% completion. This brings new houses delivered by the state government to about 1,400 units in 2 years. Accordingly, the state government, in partnership with the Urban Shelter Development Limited, plans to provide access of 400 residential units, which will serve as primary accommodation to low, medium, and high-income earners. The project will consist of 1 to 5 bedroom units accompanied by a dedicated center for leisure, recreational, and commercial activities to cater for the immediate community. The Lokogoma Promenade estate will involve funding of over 13 billion naira. The value created by this will be about 20 billion naira. Such an investment will undoubtedly create a number of job opportunities, both directly and through construction, labor, suppliers, as well as indirectly through additional services such as transportation, catering, security, and so on. It is noteworthy that this project marks the second of such initiatives by Kano State and Urban Shelter Limited, an indigenous real estate development company which is already handling the development and construction of over 100 of our residential units at Durumi District, Abuja, with a sale value of 9 billion naira. As we embark on this second development collaboration, I wish to implore the company to continue with diligence and commitment towards the completion of these projects in an efficient and timely manner, while commending them on progress of Durumi. Let me stress that government and people of Kano State have high expectations in the timely qualitative delivery of these projects. Once again, I welcome you to the foundation laying ceremony of Lokogoma Mass Housing Development, while looking forward to inviting you to the commission of this estate in the nearest future. I wish you all
in a very short time for commissioning, inshallah. It is my privilege to give the vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of the board, management and staff of Urban Shelter Limited, give our profound gratitude to the special guest of honor and all our special guests for finding out time out of your very tight schedule to grace this occasion of foundation laying ceremony. We are quite appreciative of identifying with our cause in the provision of quality and affordable houses for Nigerians. Your presence today here has definitely added more value to the achievements of our company and will further enhance our successes. I would also like to express our sincere thanks to the media and security personnel for doing a very good job to see the success of this occasion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you all safe trip to your various destination and look forward to seeing you at the commissioning ceremony when the project is completed by the grace of Allah. Ameen. Thank you very much. Salama, salama.
Terus